Good morning and happy Monday. I almost said Monday. Monday. My name is Amy Kochek with Amy Kochek Creative, and this is yet another episode of Extraordinary Stories with Extraordinary People. If you don't know what that is, that's wonderful. I'm going to explain it to you. So, with my business, Amy Kochek Creative, I'm a ghostwriter. I'm a writing coach. I'm a speaker. I'm an editor. I'm all things story related. And I'm very passionate about people's stories. And I believe that the most powerful asset that you possess and that we possess as a human race is our stories. And one of the things that I found frustrating is that I would talk to a lot of people and tell them what I do. Like, I'm a ghostwriter. I write books for people. And then people would pipe up and get all excited and say, I want to write a book, or I've always wanted to write a book, or I know these people with phenomenal stories. And then I would follow that up with, but why haven't you written your book? And, thus is a litany of excuses. And some of the excuses are really great. But underneath all the excuses is the fact that we're missing out on these really amazing stories from people. And I know just within the past few months of doing these interviews, every single time I have done an interview, I have come away with a quote, with content, with motivation and inspiration. Like, it's literally been changing my life because it is what connects us. It's what makes us alive. So I decided to use my platform to highlight some really extraordinary people doing amazing things in this world, and to give you, the listeners, an opportunity to ask questions while we're doing the interview, after the interview, and also, most importantly, to reach out to the people that have done these interviews, to connect with them based on their story and who they are. So today I am super, super excited. I have my dear friend Ali Register, who has many, many phenomenal stories, but he's going to highlight just portions of it today. I'm so excited for y'all to meet him and to hear his story. So Ali, I want you to start. Just tell us who you are, what do you do, any other relevant information you want to share with us.
Yes, thank you. I am Ali Register, the fitness strategist is what I call myself. You may want to say personal trainer, but I will not say personal trainer. And the reason I won't say personal trainer is because I've been a personal trainer for 10 years. And personal training has led me into this creation of the fitness strategist, because during that 10 years of training, I've gone through my own bouts, like we all do, of ups and downs in fitness, and strategizing your way around those ups and downs is the way to make this long term, because not everybody enjoys throwing around weights or running on a treadmill. So finding ways to find something you enjoy, because at the end of the day, we all want to be happy, is why I call myself the fitness strategist, because I strategize on making people happy, not necessarily getting this great six-pack. Because six-pack or happiness, which one would you take?
That's good. Wait, was I supposed to answer that question, or is that like rhetorical?
That's rhetorical. Yes, rhetorical.
Yeah, I would want both. Wait, so tell us something like personable about you. Like, what's your favorite food? Where do you live?
So I live in Washington, D.C. I'm originally from New Jersey. My favorite food has to be buffalo wings. Spicy, crunchy, not breaded, just fried naked. Fitness is my thing. Like, I like working out. I didn't always like working out. I really enjoy working out. It's my peace. It's my mental therapy. It's my place where I go. It's just everything that I need to keep myself going on a day-to-day. And when I'm not into fitness or things that are surrounding myself with good health, I just feel off kilter and off balance. What else?
Perfect.
Yeah,
that was good. Okay, so as with every interview, we talk about one major pivotal moment in your life. So obviously you could probably, most of us could pick hundreds, but we're going to focus on one major pivotal moment in your life. So before you get to the actual moment, set us up. So what was going on? Who were you mentally, physically? Give us as much details as you can, and then segue right into the actual pivotal moment.
Yeah, so here's a setup. Everybody has a struggle in fitness or health or with their body, right? And my struggle, and some people hate me for this, but my struggle was I was really skinny, like skinny to the point where people would be like, hey, do you need a sandwich? Or do you need 70 cents a day? Do you need a 1-800 number underneath your picture where I can send you some money? And it was like a joke that went on through most of my childhood, high school, teenage, and even into adulthood. And the first moment that it really became like it challenged me, like other than just my confidence, it's just my way of like interacting with people. For one, it made me shy. I didn't like interacting with people. Like social settings just weren't my thing because I just felt like I didn't equal up to the people around me. But the first time it really made a huge difference was my first day. I joined the Navy, and my first day on a naval vessel. The first day I ever stepped on board a Navy ship, like my Maslow's hierarchy of needs, safety was challenged. Like there was this huge fight on the mess decks. The mess decks is where we eat. And it was my first day. I'm learning the ship for one. I'm learning like where I go, how do I get my food, how do I wear my uniforms, everything. And then this huge fight breaks out, and like I can only describe it as like a prison yard brawl. It's like these huge dudes, like muscle bound, 200. They just look like a bunch of apes. I'm sorry, and they're fighting and like really fighting. It was over food. It was over. So I got like my tray, and I'm like in the corner trying to block myself from getting like hit or pushed. I don't know. I ended up being safe. But that was the first moment where I was like, I'm not gonna survive this. Like, not at this size. Like, if anybody had approached me, I would have been pummeled. And so I was scared. My hierarchy of needs was challenged. That was the first day I started working out like consistently, because like this was something. If this is normal, because this is my first day, I don't know what's normal, what's not normal. If this is a normal occurrence just over food, I got to do something about it. So I started working out, and then somehow it just became this thing. Like when I first started to see some results, I was like, okay, I like this. And then I kept going, and then it just became like a thing that I do. And, you know, in the Navy, there's not much to do when you're underway and you're not doing your job and you're on your ship going from like Australia to Japan. It's a long way, and there's not much to do once you get off work. So I'd work out. And that, you know, that started almost 20 years ago. And I like never stopped. And I've had my ups and downs like most people in this, and not even personal trainers, just people in general. Like you have your ups and downs in working out. Fast forward about 18 years later, again, I've been fit pretty much my whole life since then. I ran into a bout with, I took a flight to California to visit my sister. She lives in LA. And, you know, quick flight, but, you know, I'm 6'4" on a good day and 230 pounds sometimes. So it's like I was cramped. And then get off the plane, I'm in a car, you know, in LA traffic. So I'm like car or plane to car. So like extra another 2 hours on top of the already 5-hour flight. And then finally get to where I'm going. I barely can get out of the car. Like my legs, like I almost felt, actually I did, it's not almost, like I had to have my sister like stretch my legs out of the car, and I'm walking slow, and she's got stairs up to her apartment, and I just thought long flight, then I'm in this car, you know, I'm not as young as I used to be, and I'm also some huge sometimes. So anyways, that goes, you know, we go out and we go to dinner, we do a bunch of stuff in LA, and just like every day is like a challenge, like just walking, like getting up and walking is like a challenge. And I'm like, man, I gotta get first class tickets from now on. I cannot fly and coach. So I get back to DC, and the same thing is going on. And I'm just like, well, quick flight, another flight. Like this is flights upon flights. I'm just sore, and I worked out before leaving, so you know that happens. So after a week,
wait, let me pause you. So. Yeah. So when you were still having the pain in your leg, were you still working out? Like, were you still keeping your schedule?
No. So this was like a 4-day span because I only went to LA for like 4 days. So this was a 4-day span, and I worked out right before leaving, like literally that morning. And I get sore after working out. And I just thought that, coupled with the plane ride, coupled with the traffic, coupled with being a year older, you know, just.
Well, this is you're feeling like this is just soreness that you can't shake.
Yeah, I just, you know, I thought it was something normal, but, you know, I just had some particular situations that may have enhanced the soreness a bit.
Yeah.
Nothing that I was really panicking about initially. And then after a week of being here, like a week back in DC, and the same soreness to the point where like getting out of my bed and getting to the door of my bedroom was like, sometimes I would crawl. Like I literally would crawl on the floor because my joints hurt so bad, like the knees, the ankles, my legs. And my initial thought was I got blood clots because like everything I was Googling like read up to blood clots. So I went to the ER. After hours and hours, they sent me home, like no blood clots. So I started going to specialists. Like every day I was going to a specialist, like trying to figure out what's wrong. Is it like early onset arthritis and things like that? And meanwhile, I'm training. Like I'm still physically training people in the gym, and I can't do half of the workouts. Like I can't demonstrate stuff. And luckily, I had people who've been with me for years, so they just like they understood that something wasn't right. But some days it would literally take me like a half an hour just to walk around my house to get myself to look like I had a normal walk. Anyways, months went by, and finally I get a person that diagnoses properly with Lyme disease. Sorry, long build up just for Lyme disease, right? Doesn't rank high on the life-threatening diseases, but it is life-threatening if it doesn't go detected. And so I had it for a long time, and those were just some of the first initial things that it does. It attacks your joints, it attacks your organs. It does so many different things where it zaps, one, your motivation, your drive to do anything. I was always tired. It's weird, but you can develop a speech impediment off of Lyme disease, which I feel like that's happening to me, which I don't mind. Like I can still communicate, which is, what you need to do at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. I lose taste in certain things, but anyways, it really took away fitness from me, which is something that I've had an experience for the past almost 20 years. It was the first time where I didn't not only go to the gym, I didn't want to go to the gym. I didn't want to engage with people. I didn't want to like wake up. Like I wasn't sleep. Like I would wake up, but still just lay in the bed, like until the very last moment, then try to drag myself, to the door and start getting myself ready. And it was just the first time I really felt like helpless, unmotivated, depressed. And these were some of the things I was being prescribed, like depression meds, things that help with my appetite because I wasn't eating and my body was like literally withering away. Like I was going back to this 18-year-old skinny kid, but it didn't even matter because I didn't want to do anything about it was the thing. And that was like the big pivotal moment in my life to that really shaped like especially what I do now.
So what was the length of time that this happened? Like from start to finish, from start to diagnosis, how long was that?
So start to diagnosis was about close to 4 months. Just going to specialists, bouncing around, and it was just a really trying period because for one, I didn't know what it was. And when I found out it was Lyme disease, like I was actually relieved. Like, thank you, yes, I got Lyme disease, and I was so happy. At least I knew, like, okay, there's something that's going to come out of this. I'm going to get the proper meds to get myself better.
Yeah, I think that this is just an intriguing concept in general because I think so many times people struggle with mental health or even their physical health, and they don't essentially know what it is. They just know that there's something wrong with them. So speak to that for a minute, like when you're going to specialists and they're essentially telling you that you're okay or just not diagnosing you correctly. Like, what does that do to you mentally, like in the present? And then thinking, what if this is the rest of my life? Like, what's going on there mentally?
So that was the disconnect. The mental and the physical health there was a total disconnect because going to people, and for one, I had to call out from work, and sometimes I was out for weeks. Whereas if there was no diagnosis, it was like, well, let me send you to someone else, or I think you just need to take it easy for a few days and get back to your normal routine. It almost felt like I was coming up with like this fake thing in my head. And I've heard I joined like Lyme disease forums on Facebook and joined groups just to learn because I didn't know much about it prior to. And so like that whole thing, I was like, am I making this up in my head? Do I really not have anything going on? Am I just bitching and moaning and like I need to get over it? But I know myself, and there comes to a point where I've not worked out before for weeks at a time, but then I'm just like, all right, that's enough of this shit. Let me get back in the gym and work out. But that moment never came. And like mentally, I didn't even want it to come. It wasn't even like something I wanted to do anymore. I didn't want to do anything. Not to be graphic, but sexually, I didn't want to be active. I was totally zapped of any sort of motivation for anything. I barely ate. There's just nothing that brought me enjoyment at that time, and not knowing what if that was ever going to end was almost like, should I take these depression meds that they're giving me? Maybe I'm just depressed, and it took 37 years to happen to me.
What kind of meds did they have you on besides the depression meds?
So of course there were pain meds, there was depression meds, there was Adderall, and I know all the effects of some of these medicines, so I never took them. They're still in my cabinet right now. I can go get them if you want to know the names.
No, but, you should probably throw them away though. I mean, it doesn't seem like you never know.
Yeah, I'm not a hoarder, but they're just still in my cabinet.
Okay, so they were giving you a bunch of meds, but you weren't taking the meds.
No, the meds I did take, I took the pain control meds because I had to. I took the antibiotics because I had to. Like, the only way to combat this disease. And it doesn't, it's still, I still have Lyme disease, but it's at bay now through, like, what I'm doing now with my diet and nutrition. But the only things I really needed to take were the antibiotics and the pain meds. And I was popping, like, regular over-the-counter strength Advil, like 10 a day.
So Lyme disease is not essentially something you get rid of. It's just something that you control.
So there's so much conflicting data out there. Like, some people can say they're cured and some people say there's no cure. I know, like, I can keep myself at bay with the symptoms, but I know there's something wrong. Like, if I go and have just a binge eating day where I'm just eating crap, or a weekend where I'm eating crap, buffalo wings and such, then the pain in my joints kind of comes back. And it's not as extreme as it was, but I just noticed, like, okay, I'm a little more, this hurts a little more today, and I don't want to go for a run today. And it's just pretty much diet control now.
So what did this, I know that you mentioned, like, you, in your self-improvement, we'll say, you built a lot of your confidence through fitness, through building your body, through then you're training other people to do that. But now you have an illness that essentially consistently reminds you of the mortality of your body. What did that do to your confidence? And then how did that change the way that you treated your body and then helped other people treat their body?
Yeah, so I went back to that, not so much as I had as a kid, but, like, lacking the confidence that I can, like, get better at this, or, like, get some motivation again, or, like, want to even just go out and be social again with people. And so, like, there was a rock bottom moment where I was in the gym and I was demonstrating to a fairly new client. He was young. He was, roughly 24, 25 years old. So anyways, I was demonstrating something to him and I couldn't do it. And I told him, like, look, I can't do this. And when I said that in my head, when I went to demonstrate and I said, I can't do this in my head, I really felt like, wow, I'm asking you to do something that I can't do myself. And I verbalized, I can't do this. And so then I tried it anyways, because it really hit me when I said that to myself. And I couldn't do it. Like, I went down on bended knee to do, like, a lunge or something, and I just collapsed and I couldn't get back up. And at that point, I was just like, soon I'm not going to be able to eat because I'm not going to have a job. And so I started just doing more research on Lyme disease, and, like, I'm not going to be able to take meds my entire life. Well, I don't want to take meds my entire life. And a lot of those things that I was prescribed, I didn't want to take. So I started looking into, like, keeping a really clean diet. And that has been, like, my saving grace. Like, clean diet as far as non-inflammatory foods and things that just don't promote inflammation and swelling and stuff like that. So my diet has to be really clean. And not only diet, like, to even get there, to want to do something, I just had to take a moment and just, like, think about it. Because, everything you do starts with a thought. So I had to, like, every morning get up and just think, like, do I want to live another morning like this? And then midday, I'd have to think at midday or whenever it was, like, do I want to continue like this through the rest of the day? And there's like constant thought. So first it was thought. And, with all if you read, books from a lot of the people who influence us out here, they're always, everything starts with thought. And I just started thinking, and that thinking turned into meditating, just being quiet. And that meditating kind of led me into, let me learn more about Lyme disease. And so I learned more about it. And then that's when I but started to eat a whole lot more clean foods. And then that's what kind of made me feel like, okay, now I can do this. Let me try to go to the gym today. And so it was like a multi-tiered, like not just, I'm just going to get up and work out because I couldn't do this yesterday. It was like I had to get my thoughts together and think of what really was going to make me happy at the end of the day. And after I thought about what was going to make me happy, well, how do I get over the challenges that are in front of me right now, which is I don't want to do anything. And that was research, and then into the clean eating, and all those, they just all came together for me. And so that was the program that I started instilling into people I train, was like, yes, you want a six pack, you want a nice pair of biceps, you want whatever it is, but why do you want it? Like, what is the why behind you wanting a six pack? To look good on the beach. Why do you want to look good on the beach? And it's just keep whying until I get to the bottom of, like, most people just want to be happy. At the end of the day, I want to be happy. I want somebody to say, oh, nice abs. I want somebody to ask me out on a date, and I think it's because of the abs or whatever I equate that to, like, oh, because I got abs. No. At the end of the day, you still want to be happy. You want that person to ask you out on a date because that you think is going to make you happy. And so that's kind of the program that I've moved into, is like getting confident in, for one, your own body, and just attaching a real value to whatever it is. Like, my thing is the gym, but attaching a real value to whatever you do. So if you attach value to going to the gym every day, well, why do you go in the gym every day? Yeah, because you want to have a nice body. Why do you want to have a nice body? And then, once you uncover those and you can attach a real value to something, if it's a rainy day out, like, I'm not going to go to the gym on a rainy day if I want a six pack. But if there's a girl or guy that I really am interested in, and I kind of even think in the back of my head, that's the person I want to marry, in 4 years from now or whatever, you'll go to the gym through the rain, because that's a real value that's going to attach that, and will make you do things that maybe you wouldn't do over just a six pack, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So I find that when, like, trauma hits us, right? Like, something hits our lives that's unexpected. Obviously, it comes with a lot of pain and a lot of issues. But I find that trauma always comes with a gift, right? And that gift changes our lives. So what would you say is the gift that you received through Lyme disease?
The gift that I received through Lyme disease is, I'd have to say, knowing that, or wanting to be happy with myself at the end of the day, happy with my effort that I put into things. And I think happy, yes, I can't say it any more clear. I can only use like things that are going to confuse people. Happiness, like there's a movie, Pursuit of Happiness. At the end of the day, we want to be happy. And Lyme disease was a real struggle, and I couldn't find that happiness. And finding it again was, yes, going to the gym. That's the sort of thing I wanted to do to get myself back into. But just happy with the effort that I was putting into. Now I never meditated before, but now I meditate, and it's a part of my daily routine. Now in the morning when I get up, I'm not on my cell phone right away. I just kind of think, like, how do I want this day to go? How do I want my midday to go? How do I want to end today? And of course, again, the meditation. And then when I wake up, like, I'm hydrating right away. I'm getting water in my body. And these are all things that are just making me feel good and make me feel accomplished throughout the day. I make my bed now, which I hadn't really done since being in the Navy. But just really taking the time to overcome challenges and be happy with my amount of effort into whatever my task is. I think that's the biggest thing I got out of Lyme disease, was overcoming challenges again.
Yeah.
And I'm reading an ebook, and you helped me out with the ebook.
Yeah, that's true. So this might be the same. And if it's the same answer to the one I just asked you, then we'll move on to the next question. But would you say that what was the greatest lesson that you learned from that whole scenario?
Yeah, it is kind of the same, but it's like I learned that fitness is not one avenue. Fitness is mental health, it's balance, it's clarity, it's relationships with people, it's how you interact with the world around you. Is it like if your fitness is one dimensional, where my fitness is I go to the gym, I do this exercise, I come home. I don't think that's going to equal happiness at the end of the day. But when all those other things are coming together, and you're repairing relationships with people, and you have mental clarity, you have balance, you have stability, you have, I think, a more robust health.
Yeah.
And I think that's the key, is like having a multi-pronged approach to it.
Yeah. So talk directly to somebody that's watching live, or somebody that is potentially watching playback, and they're facing health challenges, whether it's a health challenge that's been identified and they're living with it, or something like you, where it's a health challenge that it's something they wake up to every day with no name to it, no symptom to it. They just know they're not themselves. What would be a word of encouragement or a piece of advice that you can give them?
For one, patience, because things like don't happen overnight, but wanting to at least have an ending, like have this period where you reach that happiness point, or whatever it is that makes you happy, and taking small steps, like trying to do everything at once, you'll get overwhelmed and you'll drive yourself into a hole, and it'll just be more things stacked against you, and you'll feel like nothing's ever going to work. Small steps in doing the smallest thing. The first thing I would ever do when I would wake up is just think, and think deeply about only good things, what I really want to happen, what I really want the end result to be. And I would just think about that. And that would be like weeks upon that. I was just waking up, just thinking, not getting on my cell phone, not doing anything else. And the next thing that I would do, like for me, was going to the gym. Before I even went to the gym, I'd start putting on sneakers every day. And there was I worked the office job part-time. I put on sneakers every day, just to get before I was even going to the gym, to get myself in the repetitions. So small little incremental steps that you can take, and it starts with a thought. Just think about it. And then on top of that, thinking about it, maybe the first action, I don't know, whatever it could be your challenge right now, the first action maybe is learning more about your challenge, finding other people who have that challenge, connecting with other people that have that challenge. And then just add layers on top of layers, and just don't try to do it all at once. Don't try to take in too much information at once. Don't try to read every article, because there's so much conflicting data on things out there. Do what makes you happy, layer by layer, very small increments.
That was good. So I want you to do two things. One, tell us specifically what you do, because I know you mentioned at the beginning you're a fitness strategist. You're not a personal trainer. That's a very important distinction, because there's millions of personal trainers out there. So what makes you different, first of all, with what you do and how you take on fitness? And then secondly, how do we get in contact with you?
Yes, again, as a fitness strategist, I blend that mind-body connection. I've got a life coach certification, which helps uncover people's challenges, people's roadblocks, beliefs that they have about themselves, beliefs that really cause them negative effects. So I pull back the layers, and that's what I like to call the fitness strategist, pulling back the roadblocks that get in the way for people to achieve their goals. And I use fitness as the tool. So, a simple 10 reps in the gym of a bicep curl, if you can do 10 reps of something in the gym and feel good about it and feel strong, apply those same 10 reps to something you do in your life every day, whereas it's going to make you bigger, it's going to make you stronger, it's going to make you better somehow. So, sorry, I always get off track on questions, because it's the Lyme disease. No.
That was good. Lyme disease is good to always fall back on. No, second portion was, how do we get in contact with you?
Oh, yeah. So great. You can follow me at Ali Trains Humans on Instagram, You can go to my website, www.aliregistermotivates.com. And on Facebook, I really like social media, Instagram and Facebook, because websites, they just have pictures, pretty pictures and links to click. Whereas on Instagram and Facebook, I interact with people. Like you can see who I am, I can see who you are, and we can really get a good idea of each other. I have an ebook that I put out on Amazon called Fuck Your Diet. And it's all about holistic eating and eating nutritious foods that promote not weight loss, but a healthy body. Because once you have a healthy body, then you can lose weight. And it's all like one organized symphony.
Perfect. And we'll put those links in the comments. So if y'all are interested, you can go and check it out. And Ali, I believe you do like a free consultation call.
I do a free consultation call where I don't just coach people in the gym. I coach people all over the world. And I do a free consultation call where we can figure out your challenges and figure out a path forward for you if you are interested in improving your life through fitness.
Perfect. Yeah. And definitely, Ali, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being on here. Thank you for your story, for your vulnerability, for your wisdom, all that good stuff. And as I always say, it is so important. Connect. If you are facing health challenges or you're looking to just transform yourself, not just physically, but your full holistic health, Ali definitely is someone that you can contact. So thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you tune in later this week. We have somebody else coming on. Have a wonderful week, and I will see y'all later. Thank you.